Hi, this is Shelly Seven with MmSportsMedia. We're here today at Etiwanda High School with Coach Leach. Coach, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. Real busy.
Real busy. Tell me a little bit about what's going on when you say real busy. Busy just having a winning season?
No, just getting ready for the season as far as, fundraising, game program, team meal stuff, getting the roster ready. I've got a lot of great coaches that kind of right now are handling the football side of things. And as far as me, I'm trying to get this program organized in a position to where I want it to be, and in a position to where we can be very successful.
Well, that sounds great. Let me ask you a question. What have you been doing for your summer?
Pretty much summer has been football related, also booster club related stuff. Trying to get this program, running on 2 feet instead of basically walking. We got some great parents here, and obviously some great players with a lot of talent. But as far as I'm concerned, it takes a few things to be a real successful program, and those three things are talent, coaching, and parent support. Right now, I'm trying to get all three together.
That seems a lot to try and get everything done right before the season. Have you had a chance to take a look at your players and see what you're working with out on the field?
Oh yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of talent here at Etiwanda, and I think pretty much everybody in the IE knows that. And that's one of the reasons why I was really excited coming over here to be the head football coach. I had some great teams at Chaparral, and I think talent-wise this team is up there with my best.
We agree with you. You have a lot of talent on your football field, and we got to work with a couple of your players throughout the off season, one of them being Jordan Filament. Taking a look at your student athletes and how they're competing out there on the field, who or what players would you say are going to be your playmakers this year?
We have a lot of playmakers. That's what's great about Etiwanda High School. I mean, we have Jordan, obviously, he's highly talented, and we have this running back, Corey Spencer, another running back, Charles Tisdale. We have two twins that are really good and kind of really intense players, Evan and Austin Alexander, Brian Granados, who's phenomenal, Desmond Pettigrew. The list goes on, really. I mean, I'm really excited to coach this team. I know, last couple of years at Chaparral was, top 10, couple teams like that, top 10 in the state, and I think this team, as talent goes, stacks up with those two teams. So
I did my homework just a little bit, and looking at your background and your resume as a coach, and you did leave a school that you've really built per se on the rock. So how are you going to make the changes here at Etiwanda, or what do you foresee how you can make those changes?
I think it's very simple. I mean, really, like I said before, there's three things that I equate to success. That is talent, coaching, and parent support. And I take the kind of recipe from Edison High School. One of their head coaches I've worked with for 5 years, Dave White. He's a phenomenal man, a guy I really look up to, and somebody that really showed me what a real program's about. And I think I brought that flavor over to Chaparral High School. And I'm trying to bring this flavor over here to Etiwanda High School. At Chaparral, it didn't change overnight. There was a lot of people that didn't believe in what I said, a lot of people that were kind of stubborn. And what happens here? I didn't expect anything less or anything more. Really, I expected it to be about the same, and it's been about the same. But once our players kind of buy into what I'm talking about, and my coaches are talking about, once my parents buy into what I'm talking about, what basically my other coaches are talking about, I think this program and this school has just the utmost potential and could be a state and national power.
Fantastic. I agree with you. Let's get back to Jordan Filament. When you take a look and assess his ability and his talent, tell me what you like most about Jordan.
I like that he loves the game. I think he really has fun, and he enjoys competing. He doesn't take it too serious, he doesn't really get stressed out. I mean, he wants to compete and he's intense, but he wants to compete the right way. And I've noticed when Jordan turns the other side and takes things too serious, he hasn't been as effective. So when he goes out and acts like it's just a game and it's fun, he's really lights out. when he takes it too serious or takes things too hard, I think it kind of affects his game. But he's really a young kid. He's a young senior, and I think with maturity he'll realize that, hey, look, this is a game. It should be fun. Just work hard in what you do and have fun in what you do, and you know, everything will be okay.
The biggest obstacle I see most student athletes making is not putting the student before the athlete. If there's any words of wisdom that you could give to your players and all the players out there, what would you tell them?
First of all, it's harder for any athlete coming in, I mean, ever, as a freshman coming into football or any sports. I mean, to get qualified for NCAA, it's harder than ever. So really, you have to see the light at the end of the tunnel right away. You really can't afford to slip up. And I think the biggest thing that athletes, high school athletes, student athletes have is time management, and really kind of prioritizing your time as far as, you know, hey, you have football, you have school, and, you know, pretty much those two things are your priorities. And I kind of say things to my struggling athletes. You know, there's a few things. I mean, I think some people think it's cool to be a fool, but in my opinion, if you try to earn the respect of your teachers, try to earn the respect of your parents, and try to earn the respect of your coaches, you'll get true respect from everybody else. And every player that I've coached that have had those three respects from those three groups or people, they've gotten true respect from everybody else. No matter if it's, you know, another athlete in a different sport, no matter if it's a kid in the band, no matter if it's a kid in a rock band, no matter if it's a kid that just doesn't like sports and just likes, you know, working on cars. You earn that true respect. And I think some kids are looking for respect from other areas that don't help them. When, in me, you know, a big thing, I was a loser in life, but back in that day, you could be a loser and still get a job, right?
Right.
This day and age, you can't afford to be. You better come out of high school, out of college with all the weapons that you need.
Right.
Because you need to be loaded with weapons to get a job.
Right.
You need to have the academics. You need to have the people skills. You need to have the work ethic. You can't afford to do anything else because you're competing against, you know, so many people for one job. And so I would say really try to earn the respect of those three levels, and time management, but take it really serious because it's no joke.
I agree with you as far as like time management and getting the true respect and so forth. That's absolutely correct. But one thing I wanted to touch on that you mentioned is coming into your freshman year. That's 9th grade. Many of the parents believe that they still have 2 or 3 years that they can just not put that investment towards their college on hold. But wouldn't you say that now that the way that you know, the competition is out there, that 9th grade is the time to start taking a look at the next 4 years, what classes your son's going to need? Because I'm finding that many juniors are panicking because they missed this class or that class, or then they may not make it. Now they're doubling up on summer school, and to be effective in the classroom and on the field, would you say 9th grade coming into your freshman year would be a good time to sit down and evaluate?
Oh yeah, I mean, going in your 9th grade, like I said, it's no joke. You can't really slip up anymore. Back in the past, you know, 20 years ago, you could slip up. You know, these requirements for academics and the sliding scale with the SAT and the GPA, you know, I mean, if you have a low GPA, you have to get a real high SAT score, and it puts a lot of pressure on that one test. And so my thing is, it's really, if you work on the time management and take this serious, you can get your GPA high enough so you don't have to stress out about it getting a super high score in the SAT or ACT. But I really think kids, you know, and parents need to come in with a realistic, serious approach. You know, some parents think, oh, they need to take honors to get into college. No, that's not true.
Right.
You know, you need to, in my thing, it's all about balance as well. You know, I mean, I've got kids that have quit football to focus on honors classes. Well, now I don't think they're so well-rounded as people. And again, you got to go into, you know, the world with all your skills, social skills, academically. And then they're all stressed out about these honors classes that they can't do other things.
Right.
You know, and then I got parents that come in and, you know, they understand, hey, look, maybe one honors class here because I know my kid. You have to be realistic. You don't want to put your kid in a position to fail. You want them to succeed, but you want them to work hard.
Right.
And again, you know, for some football players, athletics and academics are an avenue to get to the next level.
Right.
And, you know, if you work, let's say, take all these honors classes, you don't even need the honors classes to get into college if you're that good an athlete.
Right.
You need college prep, because that's what they are. College prep gets you into college.
That's right. I agree with you. Mm-hmm.
And I've seen many occasions where they think they need to take honors. Now, honors, if you want an academic scholarship, you better be in honors.
Right.
But this day and age, I've seen 3.8 students get rejected to major colleges. Whereas I've seen a kid with a 2.5 that works really hard because he's getting the most out of his potential in academics, be a really good football player, go to a school like Cal Berkeley, go to a school like UC Davis. Okay, so I've seen both. And, you know, I try to advise my parents about that stuff and get them squared away right away. I know our counselor at Etiwanda and our administration does a great job with that. They have a little meeting with it, you know, kind of not a rally or an assembly about it, and get them all squared away as far as academics go. And, you know, but again, about me, it's not really about the college football players. Those kids kind of take care of themselves. High school football is about, you know, we got kids that aren't even close to that level, that are working hard every day, that are really committing to the program, that are developing relationships and showing even the best players what work ethic is really about.
Right, character. Mm-hmm.
So,
I agree with you on that. Let me ask you, as a coach, you're probably protective over your student athletes, and during the off season, some of the kids joined some 7-on-7 groups or did off training sessions. How do you feel about that?
Well, usually I, you know, back in my older programs, I'd hire a guy that comes in and does individual training for me. Well, it's team training, but whatever. You know, but I hire a guy separate with the budget the way it is right now. We didn't do that. I'm all for that, except for if it's cutting into the time with your team. That should never happen. And number two, like I had, you know, a couple players this year, oh, coach, I'm not going to make this practice because I've got this. And I said, no, you're not missing our practice for that.
Right.
All right, especially seniors, people that need to be leaders. Now, I am all for if they're going to a college camp and they need to get exposed by the colleges, because that, to me, is, number one, they're going to be working.
Right.
Number two, they're going to take this to the next level.
Right.
And the big problem with that is sometimes they come back, oh, no, the college coach told me to do this. And I'm like, no, they're in a different defense.
Right.
They run a different offense, so obviously they're going to tell you to do that.
Right.
So you need to do what we do still.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So.
I'm sure you find that even to be true with some of the training camps out here that try and tell the kids, you know, how they should be doing or so.
I mean, there's
forth.
9 different ways I can run cover 2.
Right.
Right. And some people run it one way, some people run it the other. We look at our talent and we say, okay, we're going to run cover 2 this way this year. Right. So when we're talking about cover 2, and they go to another, let's say, you know, I don't want to name names, but another 7-on-7 group that they do on the side, and they're telling them, no, we do cover 2 this way, there should be no confusion. You're going to do what the team does. Hey, then when you're over there, do what they do.
Right, right.
You
and
know?
that's just learning also your learning skills, you know, being able to what's the word?
Differentiate.
Yes.
You got
okay.
that.
So that, and you can leave that in, that's fine. Thank you for that. Sometimes my tongue just gets too thick and swells and I can't speak.
I said it to my class yesterday. Some words I can say, you know, 80% of the time, and all of a sudden, certain day, it slips.
Well, thank you for that, but yes, that.
No, and they have to. They have to differentiate. They have to do that, and again, it should be easy, because the more exposure you get to coverages and football, I'm all for that. Hey, look, get as much football as you can get, you know, because it makes you a better football player, more knowledgeable.
Right.
But, you know, you have to apply what we're doing when we're doing.
Right.
And you can't get confused. And even with us, you know, we have about, you know, let's say 9 different coverages. You know, we check to a cover 3 in certain formation. don't get that confused with, let's say, when we do a man,
Right.
or when we do a cover two stay, or when we do, certain other things. So the aptitude and cognitive ability of players is way better than when I was in school.
Right, that's true.
I mean, and it is. And we're throwing a lot more at them. But I really try to tone it down just to make my athletes be athletes and play like athletes.
Right.
So I try not to confuse it. I always say, hey, look, if I can understand it, because I'm not the brightest guy, you should be able to understand.
Right, right.
You know? So.
Although you could say a word I just was struggling with, but let me say this to you real quick. You're a head football coach now, and you have over 100 players that you have to manage, right? And it's not in your job description that you need to find these kids scholarships, right? But how do you feel we as Matchmaker Sports Consulting have a low fee of helping parents to market their son to obtain a scholarship, but how do you feel about other companies that are trying to help student athletes to get that, and how do you feel about your time being able to acquire a scholarship for your student athlete?
Well, I think personally with Huddle and with a lot of services right now that are available that we pay for, I think it's easier. But, because I'm telling you, that's what I do. I try to push my players to get scholarships, and I fight all the way until the next year. Like last year at this time, we got a kid a scholarship to Hampton University, full ride, Division I AA.
Good job.
And we fought all the way till August, and he got one. And we almost got two guys. But so I like to fight and stick with it. I think if parents could afford it, I think it never hurts to go ahead and get outside help.
Right.
It's not a big conflict for me. And an example, a couple parents from rival schools have called me because I have a lot of connection, and I'm willing to put the time, because whether it's Kenny Lawler at Upland, or whether it's, let's say, there's an athlete, Lackey, that was at Vista Murrieta, or my player, if I feel like they're deserving and they should get a scholarship, I'm going to throw their name out. I'll even give them game tape. I'll try to push the other athlete.
Right.
Because it's all about the kids really for me, and I love competition, and that's
Right.
something like bringing back to Jordan Filament. If he's playing against a great player, he loves that.
Right.
He wants to play against that competition.
Right.
And I love competition. I love competing against great players, And, nothing's personal. I love them that they're playing football.
Right.
So I'll do whatever I can to kind of help them out and go to the next level.
I commend you that you're taking the time, and it doesn't even have to be a student that may be going to your school, but that you feel if it's well deserving. And that's what we believe here at Matchmaker Sports Consulting. We may not have you as a client, but if we see that you've been out there working and we can pass your film on to someone else too that's interested, we will definitely do that too. So I agree with you. I think that's more important than anything. Looking at your schedule ahead, tell me where you see your biggest challenges.
I think it's just the competition we play. I mean, really, you look at our schedule, it's one of the tops in the state, one of the, tops in the Inland Division, the area, it's no joke. And I think when you look at our even non-league, I mean, I love to play the best, and, my history's kind of proved that, but, you're dealing with great coaches every week, and if you're not prepared, you're going to look stupid.
Right.
And my big thing is with our team is, and I've had it in the past with other teams, I mean, you could be great. You could play great, and it might not be great enough. So you better be great to give yourself a chance.
Right.
And so that's what I'm about. We scheduled Long Beach Poly just for a scrimmage. And, I think that was a true test for us and a good gauge to tell our kids where we need to be, where we want to be, where we have to be to compete against Centennial, Vista, Rancho, Upland, and other schools, I mean, Summit, defending CIF champion, we got to open up with.
Right.
So I expect our players to respond, and, but it's going to be a challenge, and it's not meant to be easy.
Right, right.
And it's not supposed to be easy.
Right, growth.
So, I think as coaches, we're up for the challenge. I know our players are up for the challenge, and I'm excited to see what we got.
Well, I do want to thank you for your time and taking this time to speak with us here at Matchmaker Sports Media. We'll definitely be around filming some of your games and interviewing any players that you suggest that need that exposure. Not that they all don't, but we're here for that.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is that we just want to give you a shout out that says welcome to Etiwanda, and we just know that you're going to do well. You've already set high goals for you, yourself, and the coaches and the team. So we want to say thank you and good luck.
Cool. Thank you.
Michael Phelps, this for you, babe.
The business.
I'm going.